Right, so today, folks, we're going to be taking a look at somebody who has recently learned a very valuable lesson in karma. It's an internet troll who went out of his way to try and make someone feel really bad for quite literally no reason, and then quickly regretted it. I mean, these stories are always fun, right, because you do actually get a happy ending out of it, but first of all, let's have a look how we got here. Now, I was going to start this off by saying recently people have started doing this very similar form of trolling, but it's not very recent at all. It's been going on for ages, but recently a few specific situations involving this have went very viral, which have made a few other people feel a bit overly confident that they can do the same. Like, for example, we had this tweet going viral talking about how Margot Robbie was mid. So it started off with this tweet saying, "If this is mid, you motherfuckers have lost the plot," and showing picture of Margot Robbie, to which this person replied saying, "This is her without makeup. Definitely mid." Now, let's be honest here, I don't have to sit here and explain how Margot Robbie isn't mid, okay? It's not going to be one of them videos, but this was obviously a very strange tweet for a number of reasons. Like, first of all, why do you feel the need to even express that opinion in the first place? Second of all, you are talking about Margot Robbie, who is pretty much like every other person's main celebrity crush. And third of all, if you are going to voice his opinion, which is never alright, but if you are gonna do it, you better be a fucking supermodel. Now, I'm not gonna go on this guy's pictures and start slating him or anything, but you know for a fact that these people who do say this type of stuff are just very, like, average looking blokes. And for some reason they feel the need to express this opinion, but when it happens like this, in terms of like a public tweet like this one we just spoke about, it's definitely for attention, it's definitely to get people riled up, so they'll like start firing abuse at him and being like, how can you even have this opinion? And if that was the case, which I'm pretty sure it was, it definitely worked, because it's got 23,000 quote retweets from people just basically saying, "You're a moron." And then you've got people replying to it saying, "If she is mid, then you're a one," to which he's replied saying, "If that's true, why do women hit on me every time I leave the house?" Yeah, so clearly a Twitter troll, right? I doubt he believes anything he's saying here. He's just doing it for a reaction, which I guess he's got. And I mean, even if he is being honest here and he actually believes this, getting hit on every time you leave the house sounds like a pretty big inconvenience. Nick, if you are being honest, then you're a very brave soul. It must be a bit of a nightmare every time you leave the house. I don't know how you survive. But yeah, like I've mentioned a few times, he's a Twitter troll. He's been doing this multiple times since this tweet went viral. I mean, here's one right now where there's a video of a runaway model. Runaway model? What am I saying? She's not running away from anything. But yeah, he's quote retweeted this saying she's overweight. Obviously she's not, but he's just doing this over and over again to get a reaction. But like I said, this guy's a Twitter troll, which is very different to the news situation I wanted to talk about. Because this next guy, I don't believe was doing it to try and go viral, because he didn't tweet it out publicly trying to get a bunch of retweets. He just left a comment on Madison Beer's picture. And you'll see why the situation got big in just a second. But this bloke commented on Madison's picture saying, "Hey Madison, I've noticed that your legs and arms are getting fatter. Please do some cardio because we men only like skinny girls. Your face is already perfect, but please, we love a thin-waisted girl." Obviously, a very, very odd comment to leave, to say the least. But before we get into Madison's reply, let's just take a look at the picture that this guy thought he could comment on to try and tell Madison to lose weight. It's this picture right here. Like, if she is overweight in that picture, then I have a major problem. I just don't understand where these extremely unattainable standards have came from these blokes, especially from people who are just commenting on a stranger's picture. It's not like it's a girlfriend or anything, even though that would still be fucking awful, but they don't even know each other. And when I see things like this, it makes a lot more sense how these people who do, I don't know, these NPC streams, you know, that woman we spoke about a few days ago, she also does OnlyFans, and we were talking about how it's a bit strange that these people clearly watch these NPC live streams to kind of get off to them. But yeah, that does make a lot more sense when you see people like this who are just willing to comment on a stranger's picture, just like body shaming them, and kind of demanding that they should do cardio to please this random stranger who was commenting on the picture. But either way, Madison Beer replied saying, "I wouldn't touch you with a 10-foot pole if you paid me $1 million. I mean, a very good reply, right? Not much more has to be said, but this screenshot of this reply has went viral. It's on like a bunch of massive Instagram accounts. Here we got one from the Rap Instagram account. It's got nearly 400,000 likes. And if we go through the comments on here, it's all people either sticking up for Madison or just kind of like making jokes, I guess, but people are on Madison's side. But one comment in particular actually stood out to me, because it was this one right here that says, "Not him commenting on her weight and then getting hurt when she claps back." And when I read this, I was like, okay, I wonder what this guy said. Clearly he has now responded to Madison's reply. I couldn't find it in the comment section or anything like that. Turns out it was on his Instagram story. And would you believe it, this guy, after saying a very horrible thing, has now dropped his ass because someone said a slightly horrible thing back. So apparently, if you tell a woman to do some cardio because you don't want her to be fat, you're misogynistic. Well, I mean, yeah, obviously, right? Especially when you're just commenting on a fucking stranger's picture. She has no idea who you are, and you're just commenting, telling her to lose weight and to do cardio. Yeah, I would probably say that makes you a dick. I told that Madison her is pretty, cause she is. Oh god, you're such a kind guy. Maybe he's just misunderstood. Well, I want my girlfriend to be skinny. Not your girlfriend. You know? It's crazy that, isn't it? I don't want my girlfriend to look like freaking Lizzo. God, this guy is such a likable bloke, isn't he? Not that Madison is that fat, but she has gained weight, and we men don't like that. Why does it matter if you like the way that Madison Beer looks? A mainstream celebrity, a fucking, like, A-list, B-list, I don't know what she is. She's a big celebrity, right? Who has no idea what you are. You're never even gonna have a conversation other than this comment that you left. Why do you care? I shouldn't even have to explain myself, but you bunch of snowflakes really need it, I guess. Ah yes, the classic snowflake response. Even though this guy went on to make multiple stories trying to explain himself, and as we'll see in the next one, try and make excuses and try to stop people hating on him. Hey Madison, maybe you should know that I'm already depressed. I am bipolar and I'm extremely depressed, and my biggest crush saying this to me has broke my heart. And yeah, it goes without saying, if this stuff is true, that is horrible, right? Being depressed is a horrible situation to have to deal with. But it also doesn't excuse you saying horrible stuff like this, and it doesn't make it okay that you decide to go on a stranger's post and call her fat for literally no reason. I always supported you, even though your songs aren't that good. I mean, a backhanded compliment if I've ever seen one. Also, I can't say I've ever heard a Madison Beer song, so I don't know what her music's like. It's just a funny way of wording it. I thought you were a good human being. You can't just say this to your fans. That's for making me more sad, Madison. Thanks a lot. So now he's just trying to make Madison Beer feel bad for, like, saying something back after he said it the first time. And honestly, it just blows my mind that we're now in 2023 and people still think they can just say whatever they want online to strangers, even the most horrible stuff, and they shouldn't be allowed to respond. Like, we see situations like this where someone will tweet at a celebrity saying something completely awful, and when they respond, people reply being like, oh, you shouldn't be able to respond, you have a big audience and all this stuff. Which, yeah, if you're calling someone out for something very small, then yeah, it's better to ignore it and not, like, say it publicly because you could get your fans involved. But if they are saying something so horrible, like saying that you're fat for absolutely no reason, and saying like, oh, you should go and do cardio and all this stuff, why shouldn't you be able to respond? Like, if you just commented on a picture saying, ah, not a fan of your music, still a bit of a weird thing to say. Like, you didn't really have to say that in the first place, but it's a bit better, right? Maybe it wouldn't warrant a big response where her fans would get involved. But yeah, if you are going to say something so offensive to someone, they definitely should be able to respond, and I don't really feel like that should be a hot take. But apparently it might be a bit more of a controversial take than what I first thought, because when I was reading through the replies of this situation, most people are on Madison's side, but then you'll have the odd person who will say stuff like this. This is how women treat their fans. First she, now Doja. And on Twitter, it was the same thing. You would have certain people being like, oh, how could you say this to one of your fans and all this stuff? Am I going crazy? Like, how is this a bad situation on Madison's side? And I don't care who it is. If you were to comment that picture on any other celebrity's post, man, woman, whoever, like, literally anyone, and you said very similar stuff to that, they should be able to respond, but some people think that because they're your fans, you're not allowed to. I don't get it. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on this whole situation in the comment section down below. Am I going crazy? Are there people who genuinely think like this recent comment that we just read right now? Like, let me know in the comment section down below. But yeah, either way, I'm going to leave the video there. So if you did enjoy, please leave a like down below. Subscribe if you are new. And until the next one, I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, goodbye.